were the push-ups for?
I think it was like a penalty or something. Yeah, 10 push-ups, none.
Is that a thing? The whole thing?
I guess so. We just started doing them, so yeah.
How many? 10?
Yeah, it's like 10 push-ups. Yeah.
You've had a lot of different head coaches. What's different about Harbaugh? Can you tell something about him that says this guy has a extensive winning resume?
The fact that he's won tells me that he has an extensive winning resume. But other than that, just his demeanor, how he, kind of cultivates the group, his message, very direct, and you can tell, like, he has a plan for how he introduces things day in and day out, and it's very streamlined, so it's nice.
He has always been this, whether it's Ed Reed, Eric Weddle, Kyle Hamilton, he's always had like that playmaking safety, which is obviously what you came here with the reputation as. Does that excite you? Have you watched any of those guys on film in his Ravens defense? Like, do you think you can be that kind of guy for this defense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I've watched. I grew up like loving Ed Reed. Eric Weddle, K. Ham and I are good friends. I love his game, so of course.
Have you picked K. Ham's brain about this defense?
Not really.
Or about Harbaugh?
No, not really. I figured I'd just experience it for myself. Yeah.
What are your thoughts of it so far?
The defense? It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I was in a similar version with Anthony Weaver in 2024. So some of it is like recall, but there are different differences and whatnot. Obviously, completely different DC. So definitely enjoying it though.
You said it's different from the last 2 years, or last year rather?
Yeah, it's completely different from last year and then the year before that. With Weaver, he was from the Ravens, so like there are similarities, but just the way it's called, the rhythm of the coach, like it's all different.
How does it fit your strengths? What you see as your strengths?
I mean, I feel like we're kind of in the same, too high. At this point, I mean, I've had so many different defenses that I don't think that, one defense is, fitting my strength. I think it's me that adapts to the defense, which is the reason why I can just jump from defense to defense. So I just kind of find my role and, nestle in that and then expand from there. So.
What's that communication been like with Bernard Wilson so far? Is he open to feedback when you guys come in and kind of tell him, we like one thing and maybe not like something else?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a tyrant or anything, or he's not just don't tell me anything. He's definitely open to it. He's, he wants to make sure there's no gray area. That's a big thing for us. Is everything's black and white, no gray area, so there's no confusion. So communication will be clear.
With him having that secondary background, does he coach secondary harder?
I wouldn't say harder, but there's just an intent. You can kind of see it. Questions and whatnot can be asked to Bernard. I've had defensive coordinators, which is a little bit different. Asking the question to my DB coach instead of the DC kind of thing, which is it doesn't really make a big difference. But when you do have a defensive coordinator, there is just that extra little, just a little
unwritten language.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
This is your second year here, and obviously the second year is supposed to be more comfortable with everything. But because there's a whole new coaching staff and a new defense, does it seem like it's very new to you, or does some of that familiarity help? You know what I mean? Your second year, but it's your first year in a lot of ways.
Not really. I mean, counting the interim coaches from last year is my 7th defense coordinator, 6th head coach. So change is kind of part of my career at this point. The recall though, having something similar as a defense I've been in before, that's been nice to be able to okay, it's not all completely new. I'm familiar with some of the language, so yeah.
What difference? You said you've been in a lot of defenses. You've been in a lot of defenses, a lot of coaches, but I don't think you've been around a coach in the NFL that has had the success that probably he has.
Right.
Does that change the way you think guys look at it a little bit, or at all? To you, maybe? Does it give it a different feel?
In terms of how he speaks to the team, how he
just in terms of, hey, we know that what he's already done has been successful to
right.
a degree in the NFL, right?
I mean, so to the credibility part, I don't necessarily think that anybody would change their perspective on a coach, whether he's credible or not. But to him, having a history of winning and having a process, absolutely. You can tell that he's done things a certain way that he's comfortable with, and he kind of puts things in order. So we're learning in a certain way, we're training in a certain way. OTAs is structured in a certain way. We have the staff, kind of organized in a certain way so that we're able to both see our performance, improve on it day in and day out, and then, get help when we need it. I don't know if that's...
We'll take a few more.
Jevón, Coach was talking about the speed right now, getting up to game speed. Can you feel that this year in OTAs already, moving a little faster?
Faster than last year, yeah, for sure. But I mean, I don't think it's different than something I've done in the past. Like that's kind of a thing in the league. Like people want to mimic game speed to a certain extent in OTAs. So I kind of been in like a realm of that before. So it feels similar for me. I don't know if other guys have been in that same kind of thing. I know some people do like walkthroughs and whatnot through OTAs to save the body or whatnot. But there's different perspectives and sciences behind how you approach OTAs. So.
Jevón, what's your experience? What do you think about these rookies so far? Arvell, Colton, defensive rookies. What's your first impressions of them?
They're doing a great job. Yeah, they're really absorbing a lot of the knowledge.
How do you assess your play last season?
Just assess it take it how it is. When I was out there, I was trying to make plays and help my team win.
Welcome.
What's up? Thank you.
Well, what are your initial impressions of your new quarterback?
Very, very good things. All great things. We've done some work during the summer, so very, very catchable ball. Friendly to the receivers, and he has some swag about himself as well,
So in what way? How do you see that swag?
The
Define that swag.
I mean, his the way he walks, the way he talks to us, and what can I say? I mean, he's very understandable of everything. If we have to do something within a play that's a scramble drill, it's just something we can just do because he's good at just playing football, So he has that swag, I would say that.
What did you know about him before?
Not much. I probably watched one game last year, just chilling. The Thursday night game with him and Scat was just going crazy. But that's all I knew.
Why did you sign here?
Familiarity with Coach Nagy. Not something I have to learn within the offense, a new offense. I can just run my route and just the familiarity with that, And then that was top notch right there. That was what I seen. And I feel like when I'm doing something, when I'm picking, it was more schematically fit for me, And that was the biggest goal right there.
How similar? I know you've only had it a couple weeks, but how similar is the Matt Nagy playbook now to the Matt Nagy Bears playbook?
Oh, it has expanded a lot. There's some things that's that we have done in the past when I was with him my first couple of years, but we've been separated for quite a good time. So there's some new things that he has brought onto his thing, and there's some things that I'm good at that I've learned on my way. So yeah.
What's your sense of the room? The receiver room. I mean, some guys aren't practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys are here. You're new. I mean, how hard is that? There's a lot of new guys. I mean, what's your sense of the whole situation?
Oh, I feel like the room is very good. Everybody comes in, works hard. The mentality of everybody is just to get better every day. And I feel like if somebody's not practicing, they're really feeling something, or it's something that's aggravating them, it's something they can't allow themselves to be themselves, But no, the room is good. We're all learning right now. Right now is a learning process of just a playbook. Everybody wants to make plays, but we just kind of started getting up and going with football in itself. So yeah, I think everybody's good.
When you signed here, what did they explain what your role probably would be? And now that you're here, what do you sense your role is?
My role is to make plays and dominate. And there's not much been talked about. Everybody's at every position right now. We're learning right now. Like I said, there's no set position right now. Everybody's everywhere. So.
Darnell, do you feel like this is a good chance for some of the new receivers to kind of build some of that rapport with Dart? Obviously, with Malik and Darius being out, do you feel like it's a good chance for you guys to build that connection with Dart now?
For sure. The more reps you get with Dart, the more familiar he gets with you, and the more connection you have. So, definitely.
You mentioned the summer you guys worked out together. What was those conversations like as far as just Dart kind of taking command of, say, hey, let's get together, work out? How impressed were you with him just taking that ownership?
That's some things that you should do. You have to be able to have those interactions outside of here. The coaches have they have their establishment, what they feel like can do to win games, but we kind of have to put in the work to get better and then go out there and make the play happen.
The program didn't start too long after you signed here. So when and where were those workouts with Dart?
Probably like around April-ish, and just a lot of routes on there. You know, like I said, I was familiar with the offense, so talking about some things that he's got from Nagy, you know, in the early on, and some things that I was remembering at the time to just try to speed up the process, because we're behind. We're very behind everybody. Everybody's, you know, probably they have some type of, you know, togetherness. You know, we're all new to everything, so we're catching up. So we gotta do whatever we can to speed up.
We'll take 3 more.
Mark, with that familiarity that you have in Matt Nagy's offense, you know, obviously having success in the league before, you feel like, you know, you've had to step in and kind of take that leadership role in the receiver room with Warren Neighbors being down and Slayton being down as well.
What's the question?
Like, have you had to step in?
Oh.
Like, how much of a leadership role have you had to kind of take in versus kind of figure out, like, you know,
Yeah.
moving?
I mean, I'm always just myself, you know. I'm an observer guy, you know. I'm usually a slow motion, slow burn guy, I would say. So I'm always filling guys out, you know, seeing how guys work out in themselves, you know, see what they may need in me, you know. But I mean, if guys have questions, I definitely, you know, answer them. But yeah, I'm not really like, you know, stepping on any toes. I'm just, you know, filling out guys. But everybody's very respectful, you know. There's nobody's. I mean, there's no big leader role, you know. But if I have to be that, you know, I will. But like I said, I'm a slow burn guy. So wherever I can fit, wherever I can help, that's where I am. But Slay and Nabes, they're around, you know. It's not like they're not around. You see them every day, even working out wise and all that. So everybody's around.
What's your sense of what you've done so far in your career and what you still are capable of doing?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm usually in the moment, though, you know. I'm usually here where I'm at, you know. So, like I said, when you ask me what's my role, is to dominate and make plays. So, and I feel like I'm getting better and better and more wiser within football in itself. So, I'm feeling good with that.
What's been your
Last one.
observation of the Harbaugh team as you kind of watch him and learn?
I mean, right now, like I said, we're learning. We're learning the playbook. We're learning the playbook is what we're learning, you know. Now, everybody probably have their stories about like his practices and all those things, but we haven't gotten into anything crazy yet, you know, as I felt, you know. And I know when I was with Nagy my first 2 years, I was running a lot then, so probably nothing much will change, you know. So I think I'll be used to it. I'll be fine.
What is this spring going to be like for you? We're used to you not doing a whole lot, but it sounds like Harbaugh said you did some, but you're also maintaining shoulder and foot, he said.
Yeah, they have a nice ramp-up plan for me, just precautionary thing. Obviously, what we care about is September being ready. So I've been trusting that. It's definitely tough, you know, sometimes because I want to push and I want to get better, but I'm trying to trust the process to make sure I'm ready to go when it counts.
But you'll probably do more than you've done in the spring.
Than before,
previously.
yeah, right.
Andrew's
I'm not in the booth, just walking around. You know what I mean?
Shoulder from last year?
It's like lingering, something that I have been dealing with, but I think I'm in a good place.
What about the foot? Is that the thing that you've been dealing with the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's just maintenance. Obviously, the Liz Frank, tough injury, but we're doing our best to manage it.
The shoulder require surgery?
No.
What was your reaction when Harbaugh was hired? As a guy who's been here a long time, been through half a dozen coaches,
Yeah.
what was your excitement level or reaction to him coming here?
No, very excited. Obviously, his reputation speaks for itself. He's a true ball coach, so I was excited that he's going to, you know, come here and hopefully get things going in the right direction. So it's early right now. I like what he's doing so far. We just have to continue to trust the process and approach every day to get better.
This is your first head coach that's even had experience. Never mind, won a Super Bowl, right? So what does that bring? What do you take from that?
Yeah, first I would just say the respect that he demands. You can just tell, you know, by the way everybody reacts to him when they're speaking to him. And I think he's been there before, so there's a different confidence that he has that you can feel as a player.
What do you like that he's been doing so far?
I would say first is just empowering us as players. Like a lot of our team meetings aren't just about football in general. It's just about life, and we talk about methods and principles and just how you approach every day as a man. And I think that reflects the character of the team, you know, when we take that as a priority.
When you look at the offensive line as a unit, you know, from your time here and how you finished last season, where's your level of excitement for this group going into this year, and how can you build on it?
Yeah, very excited. Continuity is a huge thing for us up front. I thought we played decent last year. We, you know, I added some more pieces and brought a lot of guys back. So I'm really excited for that. But obviously, it doesn't matter what's on paper. You got to execute on the field. So that's what we're working for.
Any early impressions of your rookie right guard?
Yeah, CC's done great so far. He's really smart. It's kind of unique because normally when we bring young guys in, we're teaching them the playbook, and you know, but for us, we're all kind of learning at the same time because we're installing new things every day. But he's done a great job. Obviously, he has all the physical, you know, traits. That's why he's drafted that high. So I'm excited to see him get out there.
Like yourself, everybody's obviously a different person, but like yourself, Dex was here for a long time as a great player on losing teams, just like you, and he obviously reached his boiling point with the losing. Where are you in terms of you're going through another rebuild, your future with the Giants?
It's a new year. All I can do is control what I can control, and that's trying to be the best player and the best leader I can be. If I want this place to reach the goals that we have set, I got to be part of that. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You worked the first two OTAs, that's correct, and you that was fine.
They had, like I said, they're managing, you know, reps and stuff like that just to make sure it responds the right way. But yeah.
Drew, what did you think of Dex asking out?
I really don't have. I don't know, you know, what was going through his mind. Obviously, he made a decision that was best for him and his family. I wish him the best. Obviously, he was a great player, a great teammate, but we have to move forward.
Andrew, how important was it for you to have, you have basically 4/5 of your starting line from last year back. How important was that for you?
It was great. Seeing familiar faces is great for our offensive linemen. You know, had a lot of reps together, and we're going to continue to build on that. So hopefully we can continue to get better each and every year.
Do you feel like there's higher expectations for this year's team than in years past from the fan base?
I'm not sure, but like I said, we're just focusing on today, getting better today. And if we do that, you know, and start to stack those 1% days getting better, we'll be where we want to be.
Andrew, there have been a couple times this spring with Harbaugh, whether it's been with us or group settings, where he's run down players and then he's kind of thrown in, don't forget about your left tackle. You like your left tackle, don't you? Do you feel a level of respect, and have you felt that level of respect from Harbaugh from the moment he got in the building, and what does that mean for what comes next, not just for this team, but you individually?
Yeah, definitely. He called me when he first signed, and we spoke about the offensive line and the identity of the offense that we want to have, being physically dominant up front, and that I would be a big catalyst for that. So I'm excited for that pressure. I want to lead those guys and be a great dominating unit. So we just got to continue to work every day to reach that.
What differences are you seeing with Jackson as far as just his command out there, just with OTAs, just for him being in the second? Do you sense a more confident, more command from him?
Honestly, I wouldn't say the confidence has changed. Like, Jackson has always had that moxie, that confidence, the way he plays. But I will say, I think he's doing a better job of just communicating with everybody as far as like what he sees, the way he wants us, you know, to block certain things or routes, different coverages, and picking up pressures. I think he's being more vocal with that. But I wouldn't say his confidence has changed at all. Yeah.
We'll take a couple more. Were you in Jermaine's ear at all during free agency?
He snuck in here a few times because I was working out here in the off season and I was talking to him. Obviously, glad to have him back. He's a great player, and we're going to continue to push each other to be better.
Coach Harbaugh mentioned how this could be the first time. This is the first time that Malik Neighbors has gone through an injury like that in rehab.
Yep.
You've had to fight back from an injury like that. Have you given any sort of advice in terms of how to deal with the mental side of it? And then from an offensive line standpoint, when you got a dynamic receiver like that on the outside, what's that like for you guys when you see him making plays?
Yeah, I think an ACL is a tough injury, especially for, you know, a skilled player. But I think Malik has a good support system around him, and I think not just me, but everybody as a team, we're all leaning in to make sure that he feels confident that, you know, we're going to be ready for him when he comes back. Like, there's no rush. Make sure he does everything because when he's 100%, obviously he's a game changer. So We're just letting him, you know, trust the process with the trainers and supporting him through it.